Damning details come out showing the financial situation at Manchester United has gone from bad to worse. We're going to talk about that, what it means and what we know and what's really going on with the finances at the club. The leaker is stopping leaks because Amorim is fuming at the leaks. Amorim loses it with leakers inside United. Will the leaks stop? That's the big question. And the return of Paul Pogba is on the verge of announcement. And now let's break down what's really happening at the club. So after Ruben Amorim losing his 9th game in charge of Manchester United on Sunday, leaving the Red Devils 15th in the Premier League table with only a third of the season left. Some Manchester United players are said to be losing confidence in Ruben Amorim's tactics, amid his underwhelming start to life at Old Trafford. Amorim has only been in the job since the middle of November, with United having paid €11 million, that's £9.52 million, to bring him in from Sporting Lisbon. The Red Devils have averaged a match every 4 days since his first game, affording him limited time on the training ground to implement a system which is unfamiliar to most of his squad. Only 5 teams have won fewer points in the Premier League since the Portuguese's arrival, leaving United 15th in the table, and on course for comfortably their worst season since their infamous relegation in 1974. Amorim won't change his approach though, as he's welded to his formation, a stance which is being questioned inside the dressing room. The Mail reports that a section of United's squad believe that even when they win, it's largely down to individual moments of quality or good fortune, rather than Amorim's tactics working out. According to the newspaper, a source revealed, the feeling is, we got away with one, but we might not be so lucky next time. The feeling from that particular group of unnamed players stems from the number of late goals that United have scored in recent weeks, turning draws into wins. The Red Devils have scored late against Leicester, Fulham, Rangers, Southampton, Manchester City, and Victoria Plzen, with their performances in most of those games being criticized. Similar reports of behind-the-scenes discontent have emerged under previous managers, David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, and Erik ten Hag. Amorim's fuse appears to be shorter than his predecessors, who all complained about the rigors of the job later in their tenures. But after Sunday's dire 0-0 defeat at Tottenham, who they've lost to 3 times this season, Amorim told Sky Sports, "What you see, guys, and what you discuss every week I also see. I have a lot of problems. My job is so hard here, but I stick with my beliefs." United are back in action on Saturday, as they make the trip to Goodison Park for the final time to face Everton. What do we expect? Can we see some wins? Manchester United should do a short-term deal to bring back Paul Pogba for 3 months, as desperate times call for desperate measures. Former United midfielder Pogba can return to playing football next month after his drugs ban was reduced last year. The former Juventus man played 233 times for the Red Devils over 2 spells, scoring 39 times in the process. The Frenchman showed incredible flair and moments of brilliance, but rarely showed anything like his form for Juventus that saw him become one of the most coveted players in the world in 2016. He was also a rather divisive figure among the fanbase, and there were few tears shed when he left the club in 2022 on the expiry of his deal. There have been faint rumors that Pogba may be being lined up to make a third move to Old Trafford, and normally this idea would be a laughable one. Rio Ferdinand is the latest pundit to float the idea of a return to Manchester for Pogba, and while he should certainly not be considered as a serious option for the club's future, desperate times call for desperate measures. Yes, Pogba will be incredibly out of match rhythm, as he has barely played in the last few years due to injury and later his ban. Moreover, he would clearly not be a magic solution that would fix all of United's problems. No player would be, especially Pogba. United are desperate though. The January window proved the club has massive financial issues as they let go of Marcus Rashford and Antony, yet brought in no replacement. Sunday's match against Tottenham Hotspur showed how threadbare the squad is, as Victor Lindelof was the only player on the bench who had played a senior minute for the club before Sunday, and the only one over years old. With Ahmad most likely out for the rest of the season and long-term injuries to Kobbie Mainoo and Mason Mount, the Red Devils will be incredibly short of players. What's more, Pogba always struggled playing in a midfield too, but in Amorim's system, he could play as one of the number 10 with more attacking freedom and license to be creative. With his lack of pressing and work off the ball, Pogba is obviously not a natural fit for Ruben Amorim, but he would be a sticking plaster until the summer. The cold, hard reality is that United have scored just 28 goals in the league and are one of the most unproductive sides in the division. They cannot afford to say no to any help. Pogba could at least bring some sparkle and interest to the football the team plays, and he already enjoys a good relationship with a number of players at the club who were his former teammates. The Frenchman has an eye for a pass and an ability to create something out of nothing that no fit United player has apart from Bruno Fernandes. What's more, Pogba would also benefit from a short-term 3-month deal, as it would also put him in the shop window and allow him the chance to prove he can still play at the highest level. The World Cup winner's wages could be a problem for United, but he is unlikely to command anything like his old salary due to his current situation and lack of playing time over the last couple of years. Also, with Aston Villa paying 75% of Marcus Rashford's wages, there is space on the wage bill for a few months at least. The Red Devils could even try and negotiate a pay-as-you-play type deal to minimize the financial risk. If the transfer doesn't work out, it is hard to see any negatives. United are already going nowhere fast in the league and are unlikely to win any cup competition. Under normal circumstances, a third return should be transfer rumor fantasy, but just 1 or 2 moments of magic over the remaining weeks of the season could make the difference and give United an outside chance of some silverware.